Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're back. We're glad to be able to present once again our COVID update for Liberty County and all of its municipalities. We once again and we repeatedly appreciate the continued support of our community that looks forward to these updates and who are faithful to this service that we are honored to provide. So we thank you so very much for doing that for us, and we ask you that you would share this with your friends and neighbors and family members. It's cold today, so there's this, we're still in the midst of flu season outside of the coronavirus, in the midst of the flu season. So we just remind everybody to be very careful as you can, that you would abide by the CDC guidelines, which once again are to wash your hands, wear your mask, and watch your distance. And of course, I want to say, please consider, if you hadn't got the vaccine, please consider getting the vaccine. I'm sure you will hear information shortly on where those vaccines are available for those of you who are in this tier of persons who will be given the vaccine. And certainly just hang on in there. The other tiers will come, and you'll have your opportunity also. In the meantime, just remember to be compliant and to be safe. We're thankful. We were just talking among ourselves about the great community we live in. We are honored that there's a lot of interest in our community, so growth is still on our agendas, on our radar. Not as fast as or much as we want, but it's still there when some communities aren't having any, so we're proud. We're Liberty County proud that we have that to offer to this very fine community. We want to say that the mayors who may not be in attendance are just as supportive of those who are in attendance, and they have the same care and concern for you that we do as we verbalize ours here today. So please know that those mayors are also a part of Team Liberty that we all present to you, our united front. I'm going to pause right here then. I'm going to allow to come to your front the very fine mayor of the city of Walthamville, the Honorable Larry Baker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Brown, Mr. Brown. Good morning to the citizens of Walthamville. I want to say thank you to you also, but we must remember to continue to wash our hands, wear our masks, and watch our distance. And please, ma'am, please, sir, if you can get the vaccination, please get the vaccination. I haven't received mine yet, but I'm scheduled for Friday, and I will take a picture, Mr. Chairman, and show the folks that, COVID-19 is real. And again, I'd like to say thank you and good morning. Mr. Allen Brown.
Thank you, sir. I did take the shot too. I just want to say that. A week ago Monday, I had my first shot, and I want to testify that I didn't get sick, or I was able to play golf a couple of times over the weekend. So it's not that bad. At least for me it wasn't. So good morning to everyone from the city of Hinesville. I mean, from us to all of y'all is what I'm trying to say there. Since the beginning of the COVID pandemic, Liberty County has had 2,748 confirmed cases of coronavirus that has led to 41 deaths. 2 weeks ago, when we came before you, our community was experiencing a spike in the community transmission of COVID-19. This significant increase in cases is likely caused by the holiday and travel period. Now our COVID-19 cases seem to be plateauing a bit. That is good news in that we may have reached our peak and numbers that are not climbing higher. However, we're not certain that that will continue that way, and we're not out of the woods yet. Our community still has a high number of cases, and we must all take precautions to protect ourselves and the ones we love. Between January 19th and February 1st, our health officials confirmed 428 additional cases of coronavirus for Liberty County, with 7 additional deaths. So that's in the short period. And the COVID-19 spike that we and the rest of the county are currently experiencing will likely last for the next few weeks, which is why we must remain vigilant against this public health threat. I encourage every resident of our city to follow CDC guidelines for wearing a face covering, maintaining your distance, and avoiding crowds. Once again, if you need a test, you can get it at by appointments only on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at Diversity Health Center. Their offices are located at 303 Fraser Drive. Let's see, I think you can, more information about that can be found at diversityhc.org or you can call 912-255-5575 or 912-432-7408. Phase 1 of the vaccine administration program has begun, and a couple of us have already told you that we've had our shots. We meet that age of 65 or older. You don't? Oh, you're not? Okay, good for you. Dang, you're young. So to help our community, our first responders, including members of the Hinesville Fire Department, began receiving COVID-19 vaccinations 2 weeks ago. This effort was coordinated by the Georgia Department of Public Health and Liberty Regional Medical Center. The Georgia Department of Health continues to work with grocery stores, doctors' offices, and more to bring more vaccinations online. If you are in the 1A plus category, and would like to schedule a COVID-19 vaccination, please visit covid19.gachd.org to see a list of local vaccine providers. The latest public health emergency order was issued by Governor Brian Kemp. It's set to expire on March 7th, 2021. All state and local emergency orders can be found on the cityofhinesville.org/517/COVID-19, or you can view them on the governor's website at gov.georgia.gov. In closing, please continue to practice the 3 W's. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. And thank you all for listening.
Thank you, Mayor, very much. Honored to get to talk to you again. We've talked about a couple of numbers there, so I won't go back and try to do anything on that. The daily average of new cases has climbed a little bit here since we talked to you last time, up about 3 points from 20.6 to 23.9. And the daily case rate per 100,000, which is, remember, very important, has climbed from 33.3 to 39.4. I mean, I think everybody realizes that the case numbers have climbed some, not only here, but, across the district. Our community transmission index, and remember that's the index that anything 100 or above, the state has said that, you could issue a masking order on, which we have not done at this point, but it is a key indicator. From the last time we talked to you, it was 397. It's actually hit a 564 here recently. So it's very high, very high. You heard the mention of the phase we're in for the vaccines there. The Coastal Health District and Diversity continue to vaccinate that group. Again, those are groups of people that are 65 or older, caregivers of those people, emergency first responders, healthcare workers, and residents and staff of long-term facilities. You heard the mayor talk about diversity. The Public Health Department now has gone to an online registration. They have expanded to one more day, basically, of vaccinations. And now it's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays here in Liberty County. Also, I think it's important to mention, and some of y'all are already finding this out, you don't have to get those vaccinations in the county for which you live. And so if you want to go online and you want to explore the option of trying to get signed up in another county, you can do that also. There are currently 2 providers locally that are certified to administer the vaccine. You heard the mayor mention that big push now is trying to get that out to some other providers. Right now, those are Coastal Drug Company on Butler Avenue in Midway, and Hinesville Pharmacy at E.G. Miles. That's in addition to Public Health and Diversity. So you can call those folks and check. On DPH Georgia, which is a website that the mayor did give you, as he mentioned, you can go on to stay attuned. These companies are coming online, I say pretty rapidly, but as they're certified, those will be updated. You can go there and actually scroll and look for the Liberty County locations that may be added to that. Our general offices are continuing to function. We have had some cases that have come up. Unfortunately, we lost an employee this week to COVID, an active employee that we had. So our condolences go out as a community to he and his family, along with all those others that have lost family members as part of this terrible virus. But as you visit the offices here now, you will see a continued requirement in all county buildings to mask unless medically you cannot do so. That's being very strictly enforced now. Recreation, really no change there. Sign up continued for outdoor spring sports activities, and you can visit their site if you've got any more questions related to that. Also have been no change in the commission meeting status. We continue to do those on Facebook Live with restricted entry only to those that have something on the agenda. I guess my last little spiel here is I want to thank personally those businesses that are encouraging patrons and workers to mask. I would ask that those businesses that don't, please consider doing that, and please consider enforcement of that. I think folks feel much safer going into those businesses and visiting those businesses who do require that and who do enforce that. To those businesses that don't, I would just say, you know, please consider that. If you're a person that shops those businesses, please help us encourage them to do so and to practice safe distancing requirements. So we're still in it. We have seen a spike. You heard the mayor and others talk about that. It is expected to continue for a little while longer. I will echo everything that they've said on the vaccines. The doctors that I have talked to, at least locally, and you need to talk to a doctor, I think, before you get the vaccine, talk to your personal physician, have had no hesitations at all about saying if you can get online and get one, get one. And that's what I would encourage you to do. So with that, again, hats off to the community for what you're doing to try to keep this terrible vaccine down. We'll come through it. It's been one of the longest things that I think in my tenure we've ever seen that we've had to try to work through, and I'm honored to work through it with you. God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Brown, Mayor Baker, and Mayor Brown, and thank you to the community. I just would like to remind you, kind of following what Joey, Mr. Brown was saying, that the cities and the counties are trying to continue to serve you, help us serve you by being compliant so that the city and county employees will be safe and you as a general public will be safe. We got to do it as a partnership. So, you know, immediately when you enter those city or county facilities, put your mask on, put your mask on, put your mask on, and comply with all the social distancing requirements so that we'll all come through this thing. You just heard Mr. Brown say a county employee was lost to COVID, and I think each of us by now knows someone who was lost to COVID. So let's keep that number down. Let's keep that number down. Let's do our part. I heard someone say, we are the change that we seek. So we have to make sure that we do that. We are the change that we seek. So let's make it a personal obligation, a personal task that we do. And I'm reminded while I'm talking, you know, with our school system and a lot of the students I've talked to some students who really appreciate being able to go back into the classroom because they just say we learn better that way. We learn better that way. And I can appreciate that. And I know there's some who are doing it virtual, and I can applaud that side for parents who have concerns about kids going into facilities as well as the educators themselves. So we got to do this together as a team the best that we can. None of us have COVID experience on this scale, certainly. So let's do the best that we can as a community together. We all come through it together. And I can't tell you when. I wish I could have a crystal ball to say it'll be over in September, October, November. But as soon as it is, but a lot of that is dependent upon how well we manage ourselves on a day-to-day basis. So thank you so much once again. Come on, Mr. Brown is coming back again.
I think I'm remiss. I'm getting a lot of calls, and I apologize for not touching on this real quickly, on the testing. So, you know, folks are saying, well, I can't get tested. to be able to go back to work and do some things like that. Let me just mention that real quickly, and some of y'all may already know this. So yes, Liberty County is not testing. They have had to shift that focus, Liberty County Health Department, to vaccination, which is the most important right now. But Chatham and Glenn are the areas that are running those tests as far as DPH goes for you. And I think Diversity is still doing some testing also. I don't have the particulars on that. You may want to contact them. The testing in Chatham County is an open testing. There's no appointment really required. You've got to pre-register, but it's not by appointment. Those are on the DPH website if you go there and take a look. The testing in Brunswick and Glenn County is by appointment only, and I won't dare try to read through all the times and some of those, but please visit that website. You still can get a test. I think part of our scare now is the numbers that we are seeing, since the testing is not being done as much as it used to, is that some of those numbers may be a little low. But I did, excuse me, Mr. Chairman, I did want to jump in and mention that testing.
That's quite all right. Testing is very important. Please continue to do that when it's available, and do your research, and you'll find those places. You're right. I know Diversity is doing some testing, so please check out their website or call them for further information. But we're good. We'll see you in 2 weeks again for our next update. Thank you once again, Team Liberty, and remember, y'all want to do it I feel like we're in the kindergarten class. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. Have a good day.